Hello, skincare friends. Today is day 16 of the Skin and Mind series, and we'll be discussing the impact of sleep on skin health. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Oh, how sweet sleep. Let's call it the beauty sleep. Yes. What is sleep? Sleep is the semi conscious state of the mind and body. Sleep is a semi conscious state of rest. Let's leave it simple and basic like that. I'm sure we all can relate to sleep. That's what you do every night, or sometimes in the afternoon, or sometimes those unusual mornings when rain falls on Saturday morning and you're just like, let me just chill out on the bed. Yes, that's what sleep is. Sleep is very important, not just for skin, but for your overall body. Today we'll be focusing on skin. And obviously, what impacts your overall body impacts your skin as well. So follow closely. Let's talk about the science behind it. One of the things that skin does is that I'm very sure you could almost guess the next statement coming out of my mind, but it's fine. Stress reduction. The moment you are asleep, your body is in a state of rest. The high cortisol levels, which could have been rampant during the day because you were engaged in activities, strenuous activities, drops to a very low level because of that state. So one of the things sleep does is that it reduces your cortisol level, therefore reducing your stress level. So see, one of the things that you want to do when you are so very stressed, apart from the all other things you could do to reduce your stress, is a very good sleep. Might not even be at night, but just taking out some time to sleep. Some people call it a power nap. I have a friend who says that, our mom usually takes power naps of like 30 minutes. And, she might be tired just now, but by the time she just sleeps for 30 minutes, I don't know if that's sleep anyways. I don't know. I've never slept for 30 minutes, but I'm in that state of calming down, laying down on the bed to relax, even for as brief or as short it might seem to other people. It helps to do a lot of good to you. It calms you down. So the science behind sleep is that it reduces your stress levels. When you are sleeping, there is regeneration and repair going on. What do I mean by this? When you are sleeping, your body is resting, and at that point in time, your skin cells are actively repairing themselves and regenerating. That's why you would notice that, well, for many people, after a good night's sleep, their skin is smoother, plumper in texture and in feel, because that sleep has done a whole lot in calming down your body. Apart from that, your skin cells have been working to ensure that every other thing that happened in the day to your skin, it's at that moment of sleep that your skin now begins to correct that. So repair and regeneration happens when you sleep. It helps you see that sleep is very vital, and it does not matter how much you spend on your skincare. If you're not getting enough sleep, as I said, holistic approach is not just about the skincare product. If you're not getting enough sleep, you keep on waking up and then your skin will not be giving at all. So you want to ensure that you prioritize sleep. It does a whole lot of good for your skin and for your body. Now let's talk about some of the effects of lack of sleep on the skin. One of the very first thing that sleep does, that is a deprivation of sleep does, is that it leads to dullness. If you've been deprived of sleep for so long, I'm very sure many people who have exams, who are students can relate to this, or if you've had exam in your life before, is that during those periods, it seems as though your skin is just dull, lacks life. I mean, many people will be like, Ifelo, are you okay? I'm like, yes, yes, it's just stress. I know that I've not been sleeping well, so that's why my skin is like that. So you want to ensure that you sleep well. Yes, there will be moments like that where you have to, skip sleep because something urgent is that has to be done. But it should not be a consistent culture whereby you are now depriving sleep totally. You want to ensure that you prioritize sleep very well. Another effect of lack of sleep is dark circles and eye bags. This one is even very, very common. You just know that if you've not slept well, the first sign that you didn't sleep well that night is to show in your eyes, under your eyes. And that's because the skin around the eyes is very delicate. Any small issue like that, it reacts by getting puffy and that. So you want to ensure that you prioritize sleep so you do not have this undesirable effect. Also, if you are not sleeping well, that means that you are not resting well. High cortisol levels, again, that means that it can increase skin concerns if you already have it. So if you have acne, you have eczema, you have dark spots, and you're not prioritizing a good rest or a good sleep, it can further worsen the condition, and you don't want that. Yes. So just to add to what I've said earlier, another thing that sleep does is that it balances hydration level, it balances moisture level. It helps you to keep a good balance on your moisture level. And these are just some of the impacts that proper sleep has on skin health. How do you prioritize? How do you improve sleep? How do you ensure that, yes, you truly are putting sleep as a priority, especially when it comes to skincare? Number one, you want to have a consistent sleep routine. Yes, there's something called sleep routine. Many people don't know this, but there actually is. The same way you have your skincare routine, you have a sleep routine. And consistent sleep routine means that you have a time where you sleep every night. Personally, you should have a time whereby you know that, okay, I'm shutting down this time around, I'm preparing to sleep, and then by this time I'm on my bed. Especially if you already have a daily routine around work, around school, around every other thing you are doing, you want to ensure that you prioritize sleep as well. So you must have a consistent sleep routine. And again, it helps your body get used to it, such that by that time your body is already knowing that, oh, I should go to rest. Yes. Another way to improve sleep or to have a good sleep pattern is to have a bedtime routine. Now, this is different from sleep routine. A bedtime routine means activities that you engage in before you get to bed. It could be something as basic as reading, it could be something as basic as meditation. In fact, we spoke about breathing techniques, breathwork techniques in our earlier video. And then, it's something you can always incorporate. So I mentioned something in our earlier video on breathwork techniques, how that you could just perform a little bit of exercise, just track your respiratory rate before you sleep. So you want to practice diaphragmatic breathing, you want to be mindful in your breathing, and then you count the number of breaths you can make in 1 minute. That can be a bedtime routine, preparing for your body for sleep. So, as I've mentioned, you can get dynamic with it, whatsoever works for your personality, but it should not be something active that now keeps you awake instead of getting you to sleep. It could be aromatherapy, having a shower, a cold shower, whichever works for you. To ensure that, yes, most importantly, this should have been first, anyways, your skincare routine, your bedtime skincare routine. That prepares you for bed. There's nothing that prepares you for bed better than your skincare routine. Trust me. Your nighttime skincare routine, anyways. Yeah, you want to ensure that you have a sleep friendly environment. Close up your curtains, ensure the light is dim, ensure the smell is nice. I mean, it's just like you are sleeping and then you want to ensure that you wake up in fairyland tomorrow morning. Your pillows, your bed, let it be soft and supple. Create the right environment such that it's easy for you to fall asleep, especially when you enter your room. It's just easy. It seems as though the next thing for you to do is sleep because the environment is so properly arranged and organized. You also want to ensure that you limit screens and active activity before you sleep. Limit screens. If you are going to sleep by 11 p.m., you want to ensure that by 10:20, by 10:30, you know, you're already transitioning anyways. You're already limiting your screens, you're already, dimming the lights, preparing that atmosphere. Ensure that you limit screens and do not take coffee or, any of these active substances before you sleep. You will not sleep, even though your bed is so soft like a marshmallow. So ensure that you do this. As you do this, you are able to prioritize sleep and have a consistent sleep routine or pattern to the end that it impacts your skin with the all other things you are doing when it comes to skincare. Your routine, mindfulness, reduction of stress, and so much more. That brings us to the end of day 16. We're curious to know in the comment section below, what is your current bedtime routine like? Don't forget to like, love, comment, follow, and share. And stay tuned with us here at Avoid. See you on day 17. Bye.